Here. Today I have a couple of things I'd like to tell you guys about. Now, the first thing that I need to tell you guys is that, in case if you guys haven't noticed by now, ever since during Christmas break, I appeared to be an administrator of the Animat Fan Club. Now, for those who don't know what the Animat Fan Club is, it's basically a fan club dedicated to a reviewer that I liked called Animat. And here's what you can or cannot talk about in the Animat fan club. All posts must be related to the following related things: anything to do with reviewer Animat, anything to do with animation, as well as anything to do with Disney, also including the companies they would own like Marvel or Lucasfilm. And since Animat is also a gamer, posts based off of video games are also allowed as well. However, you guys are not allowed to post anything. You guys are not allowed to post anything hateful or anything that's against Animat, and you guys are also not allowed to post any NC-17 material. In other words, you can't post any videos based off of films like Where the Dead Go to Die, and also you guys are also not allowed to make rants that make no sense whatsoever. And yeah. So yeah, if you have a Facebook page, if you have a Facebook account, you guys can definitely join me in the Anime Fan Club on Facebook. Or if you have either a YouTube account or a Google account or a Google Plus account, you guys might as well join me in the Anime Fan Club on Google Plus as well. Anyways, another piece of news I have to share with you is just recently, fellow collaborator Azuchi Guardian just released a new episode of Codename Vega, in which in there I get to play Sonic Adventure, which I'm talking, of course, the one on the Nintendo GameCube. It was the one I actually played. And also, and also, um, and also about the public apology editorial, I noticed that a lot of you, every single time whenever I bring up the public apologies editorial to you guys, I noticed that a lot of you guys seem to be asking me questions about it. Now, I will say this, people, that in case you guys are wondering why I would ever consider doing a public apologies editorial in the first place, I will say this, people, that the reason that I would do it is allow for me to explain. If you're somebody who appears to be not satisfied with neither Epic Battles, nor Epic Battles 2, nor Epic Battles 3, I can guarantee that you guys are going to be satisfied with the public apologies editorial whenever more and more Epic Battles movies and Epic Battles episodes do come. And also, so yeah, here's the actual reason why I've had to consider doing it in the first place. It all started way back in 2012. Well, when I was in 10th grade, that is. Anyways, I noticed that some people, in particular, in this case, I'm not going to point any fingers. Anyways, some people in particular have been making me do things that are just too childish. And remember in my past update vlogs, I already made it clear with you guys that for projects like Epic Battles, I would never do name changing. Well, I will say this, people, based on what I said wasn't good enough, I will say this, that I can definitely name you two movies that tried to do name changing, but unfortunately for those two movies have failed to do so. The first movie being, of course, Wired. For those who don't know what Wired is, it's a John Belushi biopic. Anyways, the reason of Wired being a major disaster is considering the fact, well, two reasons. One, it appeared to be released in the same year that brought us Disney's Little Mermaid and Don Bluth's All Dogs Go to Heaven. And two, considering the fact that well, the people who made the movie Wired could not include any everything from John Belushi's lifetime whatsoever. Like, for example, one thing from John Belushi's lifetime that the people who made Wired could not incorporate would be, of course, you know those Saturday Night Live skits that John Belushi himself did in reality? Unfortunately for the people who did made the movie could not include them due to the fact that back then they were copyrighted by NBC. So instead, the people who made Wired had to make their own SNL skits. And did that make the people who support John Belushi in real life happy? No. Just no. Anyways, and then a second movie that I can definitely name you guys would be, of course, has anybody heard of this one animated movie called Food Fight? If you guys never heard of Food Fight before, then you're lucky, because Food Fight has been proclaimed to be one of the worst, or if not, the worst animated movie of all time. And here's what caused Food Fight to be another big disaster as well. And again, I'm not going to blame it on the people who made it, but I will say this, people. Here's one important fact that I as an animation fan have to share with you guys. Now, no matter how much you guys hate Food Fight, one important fact that you guys need to know, especially if you're an animation fan, is that originally Food Fight was supposed to be like the Wreck-It Ralph of food icons. Or, if you're someone who grew up in either in the 80s or 90s, you guys might as well call Food Fight as if it were supposed to be, as if it were to be the Who Framed Roger Rabbit of food icons. But then, as the companies who own the rights to all the food icons that are supposed to be in Food Fight got into a lawsuit against Threshold, this is the moment where the people at Threshold had to change the names of all the food icons appearing in Food Fight. And when it happened, did that make people happy? No. Absolutely not. I mean, the reason for Food Fight failure is not only is it because of certain lawsuits that Threshold had against, but also, despite getting a PG rating and being marketed as a family film, it contains jokes that you would see coming from an adult-oriented movie. It contains jokes that you guys would never see appear in a kids' movie, like sexual innuendo jokes and all that stuff. And now, if you guys thought Who Framed Roger Rabbit did a lot of name changing, then perhaps you're confusing Who Framed Roger Rabbit with Food Fight. And if you thought Walt Disney did a lot of name changing, then perhaps you guys are confusing him with Michael Bay. And also, remember in my past update vlog from last month when I tried telling you guys about how that the reason I get to make epic battles in general is for nostalgic reasons only? Well, I will say this, people, that every single time I hear you guys force me to name change, all you guys, the reason another good reason why I have to consider doing a public apologies editorial is considering the fact, well, whenever I do something good for Epic Battles, especially looking at the sequels, all you guys would do is get easily boiled alive like a lobster for some reason. Well, and also, and also, um, and, well, let's all be grateful for what we all get, okay? I mean, whenever I do something good for Epic Battles, all you guys would do is focus so hard on the bad stuff about it instead of being able to focus on the good stuff as well. I mean, as of right now, we're now at a time period where you guys should be thinking about what makes Epic Battles good rather than what makes Epic Battles bad. I mean, there are a lot of things. I mean, when I did get, just remember, whenever I get to include any third-party content into any particular projects I work on, whether it be Epic Battles or casual reviews with Bear Rimshot, keep in mind that this is not to say that I would ever claim rights to those things. Whenever I feel like including any third-party content into any particular projects I work on, whether it be Epic Battles or casual reviews with Bear Rimshot, I don't. Whenever I do get to do that, I don't claim rights to things. I don't claim rights to third-party content, and at all. And when I was working on the Epic Battles sequels, I worked so hard at making it bigger and better for you guys. And there are a lot of things about the Epic Battles sequels that you guys should have all been grateful about. And also, now for those who don't know on what would count if it has, in case you guys are wondering what would count as a public apology when being in the world of pop culture, if I was gonna look at those projects that have already been released, both past and present alike, there are three ways on how a particular moment in pop culture have proved us to be considered worthy of public apology. The first way of something like this can happen would be, of course, like, let's just say for this particular project, it got a lot of more and more positive reviews. Whereas in the last project, on the other hand, it got way more negative reviews. A good example of that would be films like Horton Hears a Who with Jim Carrey. And a second way of how what I know a moment in pop culture would be considered a public apology would be, of course, based on how a film would do at the box office or how it did financially. Those like Anastasia, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Nintendo 64, or any of that stuff. Anyways, and a third way of how what I know a particular project would be considered a public apology would be, of course, how things would look creatively. Some good examples include Codename Steam, Disney's Peter Pan, The Legend of Neverland, and all that stuff. As for including projects that are either considered to be upcoming or canceled, for me to be able to include any particular projects that are considered either upcoming or canceled, it must be a project where the premise would look promising. Nothing that can anger a lot of people, including the new and upcoming computer animated movie remakes of How the Grinch Stole Christmas and The Cat in the Hat, as well as Mulan 3, Frozen 2, and all that stuff. And, And also, before I can go now in case you guys are wondering where in episode 3 I'm at right now, I am now I am now I'm still in the video watching process, which as of right now I'm still watching Animation Look Back, the best of stop motion. And also, in case if you guys haven't noticed, excuse me one sec, people. Be right there, be right back. I wonder where's Team Ardsley? No, no. Okay then. Yes. Anyways, sorry about that. Anyways, and also now in case you guys haven't noticed, there are 2 walks that I'm gonna be doing. One this month and one next month. On June 7th, as in on my calculations are correct. Okay then. Anyways, on June 7th, I'm gonna be going to an autism walk. Now, in case you guys don't know what I'm talking, of course, I'm talking about, of course, Walk Now for Autism. Now, for those who don't know what that is, basically, it's gonna be White Plains, and in case you guys are curious what it's about, it'll be great. To those who live in New York, well, over here in either Westchester County or Fairfield County, New York, it'll be great if you guys can join me for the autism walk. And in case you guys are curious, still curious what I'm talking about here, all you guys have to do is go in the description below, and yeah, and also can you please excuse me one second. Right back. Anyways, now in case if you guys haven't noticed, the walk that I'm doing this month is called Make-A-Wish. I would really appreciate your support with Make-A-Wish. You guys can go pledge me any amount of money you like. All you have to do is let me know in the comments below your name, your address, your email, your phone number, and the amount of money that you're going to pledge, which in this case, it can be any amount of money you like. And you guys have until Thursday, May 21st for you guys to be able to sponsor me for Make-A-Wish. And also about Walking Out for Autism, you guys have until June 7th to not only join me for the walk, join me in my team called Team Hardly and Friends, but also you guys have until, but also now it'd be great if you guys can sponsor the walk as well. And I guess that's all I have to say. And before I go, I just want to say one more thing to my fellow Star Wars fans watching this. I just want to say this, people. May the Fourth be with you always. And peace out and live long and prosper.